if you got a certain thing that you think is funny,
Or take, it's smart.
A take.
or you take it's funny, then go for it. Now, the only litmus test is if you get laughs. Now, you might not get laughs. You might burn, but that's the hard thing about it.
There was a game called Freeze Tag, which is where two people are on stage and they assume a position, and then as they move around, you yell freeze, and they freeze, and you tag in and try to do continue another scene with them on stage. And there was a guy, a friend of mine, who he had a kind of a disease that he had no eyebrows nor any hair. And I didn't know this, but I was like, freeze, and I was like, hey, Uncle Fester, or something like that. And he hit me as hard as he could on stage. And I was just like, and after the show, he goes, you can do anything you want, but if I've heard it before, I punch you as hard as I can. And I was like, wow, and all I did was sit there and go, I gotta get him. And the next week we came out, and I yelled freeze, and I was so like nervous, but I'm like, I want to do something.
You had a catcher's chest.
I did. I know. I wanted to have like two people behind me to catch me. I was like, he was big, and I got him with a joke, and he hadn't heard it, and it was like one of those like I said it, and I was like, and then big laugh, and I was like, oh my God, I'm still here. This is awesome. So
Perfect example.
But you got to be prepared to get hit.
Yeah.
You really
Prepared to get hit.
So and get back out there too.
Yeah.
So
always wear a hypothetical
chest
chest
right.
guard when you
yeah,
do.
exactly.
It's a full contact sport.
It
But
is.
you also can't be afraid then to be made fun of yourself.
Of
you have
course,
to have
yeah.
that
If you
awareness.
can dish it out, you got to be able
Yeah.
to take it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So do you think that comedy has a power to take on some of those taboo subjects like racism, or how in All of the Family, Archie Bunker was used as a character to skewer intolerance and ignorance and stuff like that. Do you think comedy has a place to change, or does it just foster more ignorance and more hatred in the world, or does it have a power to change?
It always depends how it's used.
Yeah, I never think it's meant for hatred, especially what we do. It's not, and it's more of a magnifying glass to a Irish Catholic family or Polish family or whatever. That it almost just becomes kind of a blown up stereotype in a good way of it. But I think you're in trouble if you start to get crazy. If you start to just well, look who's in trouble. I think it's more you want to be real because real's more funny than cartoony.
I like to think it does a lot more good than harm.
Comedy, you're exactly right. I agree.
think that it can be, ugly and dangerous sometimes, but I think for the most part, laughing is
If your goal is to be real and truthful,
Right.
you will always make fun of the person that's just mean.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of comics that are just mean, and they're just nasty, and they think that's the truth, but that's not really the truth. If you focus on what the truth is, always in comedy, always going for the truth, you'll make the mean comic look like an ass.
Oh, that's in the Bible. That's okay.
That's not
That
bad.
one's
Ass
okay,
is in the
I think,
Bible.
right?
Like
But that's true.
Right, like donkey.
I think you always have to go towards the truth.
Well, that's a perfect ending note talking about generating ideas, because the name of our show is Diederich Ideas. Shameless plug. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight. It's a tragedy, a comic tragedy, but a tragedy nonetheless.
We can laugh about it.
Yes.
So once again, everyone, please give a big hand for our panel of experts tonight.
Thank you.
They were fantastic. They really were. But don't worry, we're filming this with the highest grade of we're filming this with the latest and greatest technology so that you can watch it over and over again on your favorite streaming device of choice. So please join us next time on Diederich Ideas when we explore how ideas can make a difference. My name is Andrew Pauly, and have a good night.
Yeah.